Calls for calm by the man who's put Mali in turmoil. Captain Amadou Sanogo, leader of the rebel soldiers who've removed the country's president from power, takes to the streets of the capital, Bamako. It's an attempt to put an end to the widespread looting that's brought fear to the people there.
The acts of vandalism are not from our soldiers. It's not their mission. It's not their fight. You can buy a uniform on the market. What makes you think it's not other people who are doing this to damage the image of our cause?
The situation in the West African nation remains volatile and unclear. President Amadou Toure has not been seen or heard from for days. Meanwhile, the African Union has suspended Mali's membership, but says military intervention is not being considered.
Direct intervention in a military sense is not contemplated at the moment, as far as I know, and the Council has not discussed that issue.
Malians are supposed to go to the polls in just over a month to elect a new president. That vote is now in doubt. One politician who planned on running has added his calls for the soldiers to give up power.
I am not in favor of a return to the previous leadership because it will create more chaos in the country. We want to move forward. We want to make sure that power is returned to civilian and given time to organize elections so that Mali can move forward.
The main reason given by the soldiers for the coup was President Toure's inability to stop a rebellion by Tuareg fighters in the north. The Tuareg are now taking advantage of the confusion in the capital and are pushing south. A Tuareg commander says his forces have taken the garrison town of Enefis without a fight, and they are now advancing towards other key cities such as Kidal, Gao and Timbuktu, leading some to view this coup as counterproductive.
Just 3 days before the coup, the AU had met in Bamako. So there are plans really way ahead to try and solve the problem. And this coup is rather pointless.
The United States is threatening to withhold around $70 million in military aid if the coup leaders do not restore democracy. The rebels have said they want to hand power back to civilian rulers. If the pressure on them continues to increase, however, they may not have any other option. Jamal Elshayyal, Al Jazeera.
Al Jazeera's Hashabah Khabara joins us from Dakar in neighbouring Senegal. I know you've been talking to a lot of people within Mali. What are they saying about the president's whereabouts and the coup leader's intentions?
Jane, I was talking to sources on the ground in the capital, Bamako, and they are all challenging the account of the putschist leader, Captain Sanogo, about the fact that his troops are in control of the area where the deposed president, Amadou Toumane Toure, is based. In fact, they're saying that he is under the protection of Red Berets, the special forces of which ATT was a former commander in the past. However, they're not pretty much sure whether his troops are ready to launch a counter-attack to be able to put their boss in power, or whether they're just waiting for reinforcements from different barracks and garrisons outside of the capital, Bamako, to be able to coordinate a final push to put an end to the coup. The situation remains quite volatile, fast-moving, but the reports that we're getting on the ground is that the putschists have so far not been able to garner popular and public support for their act. They were hoping to get more support from political entities, from dignitaries and from people to sort of sell their coup to the international community that this is something that has to be done for the sake of a better future for Mali.
Okay, what sort of support then for the president? We know that the African Union has ruled out any military intervention. What then are the plans of Mali's neighbours to put a stop to this?
I've been talking to an African Union official who told me that their delegation in Bamako failed to come up with some sense of progress about the crisis, for the simple reason is that the coup leaders refused any compromise, saying that they will continue with their coup to put an end to the era of the deposed president Amadou Toumane Toure, and that at the same time when they're trying to establish contact with the loyalists of ATT, they were told by his loyalists that there's no way they will talk to the putschists, and that the bottom line, the coup leaders have to order their forces to go back to their barracks. So there's a political deadlock. However, the African Union says that if the deadlock continues, the only option would be is to go to the ECOWAS, which is the community of West African states, which has been established in 1976 and which has this mandate to send peace keeping troops. And they say that if the situation continues at these stays, we might not be surprised if ECOWAS decides to interfere militarily. However, there is a United Nations special envoy to West African countries now in Bamako trying to salvage a quick deal.
And what about those living in Mali, in Bamako? Are they frightened? Are they able to get food and water if necessary?
The situation remains quite delicate there. They say that it is relatively calm as we speak now in the capital. There was some sporadic fighting yesterday when troops loyal to the deposed president tried to regain control of the National Assembly, the parliament, and the TV station, and that there are few shops opening now, very few people on the street. They're waiting to see what happens on Monday, when usually government workers and people would try to go back to work, whether they will see some sort of demonstrations, people trying to stage rallies in support of the deposed president. However, what they're saying basically is that there were no sorts of public and popular shows of solidarity with the coup leaders. Outside of the capital, Bamako, we know nothing. We don't know who is in control of the main areas, main villages and towns outside of the country, of the capital, with all sorts of rumors and reports about loyalists of the former president trying to push forward towards the capital, and also the Tuareg rebels saying that this is their unique opportunity to try to move at the same time, to try to gain more political advantage for their own rights, which is getting more political rights for the Tuaregs in the northern part of Mali.
Okay, let's leave it there. Hashim Akhabara, thank you.